Welcome to the UFO and Time Travel Radio Show. This is your guest slash host, Renato. And on the line I have my host, Bart.
What's going on?
Yo, what up, Bart?
What's that?
We're Dizzle.
Right back at you.
And it is May 5th, 2007, 10 a.m. Today, if you read my book, today is the 2-year anniversary of 0505 coming into existence on the paranormalnetwork.net message board.
Yep.
And I'm hoping and waiting that he will appear today, and I hope some scumbag hoaxer doesn't try to mess with me.
You're hoping on a message board, or?
Yeah, I'm hoping that he appears on the paranormalnetwork.net isn't around anymore. So now it's called Paranormalists or paranormalis.com. But yesterday it was down. When I went to the site, I got a blank page. But I haven't gone there this morning yet to see if it's up. But I started a thread called 050505 just for him.
Yeah.
But we'll see, you never know. But I just thought that's interesting because, the 0505 thing felt significant enough to stick in my book because, like I said, the guy starts off the thread talking to himself and nobody else. A couple of people address him, and then he sort of like half almost replies to them, and then he totally engages in a conversation with just me. And then a year later, on the anniversary of the day that he posted the thread, 050506, he addressed me and me directly. And it's all in the book. You still there, Bart?
I'm here. I'm listening.
Okay. Yeah, it's all in the book, man. And I'm just wondering if he's going to be here today. I guess the bottom line is I basically am thinking that guy is possibly a time traveler. Whoever it is. But other than that, the thread is still going pretty strong there, huh? The one on above top secret.
Yeah. I kind of went a little crazy.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, every time it gets buried and it goes to like page 2 or whatever, it ends up getting bumped right back up to the top again. Which is fine with me, hey. But it's not like we're going there trying to bump it on purpose,
Yeah. We'll have to, when certain things come to pass, we'll have to, I wonder if we'll just post those experiences in that same thread, or if we'll create a new one. I guess it depends on what happens.
Yeah, it does depend. And if this all does become reality, Bart, and you and I start going out and doing stuff, I'm not sure if we can immediately come back and kind of disclose it,
Yeah.
But the thing is, I know we're going to be collecting pictures and video all the way.
Yeah.
I think just about everyone who volunteers is going to have a digital camera with them, at all times.
Yeah.
And, plenty of batteries and chargers and shit, I know I'm going to. If, with the big if in front of it.
Yeah. From the stuff that I hadn't gone out a lot to do other outside research because I've been kind of focused, but I decided to sort of do more searching into the, not so much the 2012 stuff because they're all kind of saying the same thing.
Right.
but the channeled stuff, ET, you know,
You know what's funny? You know what the sleeping people call the 2012 people?
what's that?
They call them doomsayers. And like I was reading a couple of news articles, and the writers always say the same shit. They always put a negative spin on the people trying to me that are trying to give the warnings.
Yeah.
They put a negative spin on them, calling them doomsayers, and they try to like pair them up with those bums who are holding signs in the middle of the city that say the world's gonna end.
Right.
They
On the
try to
get.
put that type of light on the 2012 people. Like they try to make you put like through their news articles or whatever. They try to make you put the picture in your head of some bum standing on a corner with the world's gonna end, who's got like access to the internet in like a public library or something. Like they try to like well, what can I say? It's almost like a deformation of character kind of thing.
It's a little cliche.
Yeah, exactly. Like in other words, when you read a news article about people making 2012 predictions, they obviously never take it seriously.
Yeah.
And then the whole Planet X thing, reading those articles about how they're trying to cover Planet X now. I read, I forget where the source was. I think you might have brought it up. I don't remember. It's too early in the morning. But they said that Planet X is coming into view. Like astronomers can see it now with their telescopes. And they're saying that they keep putting up chemtrails to try and block them, to block the view, to obstruct vision.
Yeah, that was one of the things I read. I don't know if that's true, but there's a guy. I think his name is it Zachariah Sitchin?
Yeah, I guess. That's funny. I haven't really read. I've only heard of what Zachariah Sitchin says through other people. Like, I heard Jason Martell's references to him. I heard Michael Tazarian's references to him. I went to his website once, but I didn't really dig too deep into it.
Yeah.
I saw a picture of the guy though.
Yeah. I think he's an Eastern guy, but I'm not positive. But he's been studying apparently this planet. Okay, Nibiru is what sort of the people. I guess
that's what they keep calling Planet X. Yeah.
Yeah, in the movement, that's what they're calling it. I think that the mainstream media and probably mainstream science is calling it Planet X. But,
yeah.
In the movement, they're calling it Nibiru.
You know what's funny? Yesterday, right? Every day I go outside, work, and I take at least 1 or 2 cigarette breaks a day,
Yeah.
And a lot of times I run into this guy. He doesn't work for my company. He works for another company. I have no idea what the guy does, but I can tell he's got some kind of high position in his company where he's like people's bosses, because sometimes he'll be smoking a butt and his people will come out and start talking to him for like decisions or advice or whatever. So, I've been conversating. I started off conversating about the guy started talking about working on his property at his house and how it's a joy and, it's a labor of love. And, basically we first conversation started off with like home ownership and stuff. And then, I guess through conversation I found out he was a scientist. And I think in right? In medical field possibly. I'm not really sure yet still. And he said, and then what I said was, we were talking about where you live and taxes and all, and I said, I'm happy living in Pennsylvania because the taxes are cheap. And I said, I'm happy where I'm at because at night, on a clear night, when I look up at the sky, I could see more stars than I could ever see in like the city, because in the city there's so many lights, you can't see all the stars.
Yeah.
And where I am, I'm in a rural area, so at night it's dark on the ground, where when I look at the longer I stare at the sky, the more stars I can see. Like first there's a few, like as if I'm in New York. It's like every time I look up, it's the more stars I see. I'll go from seeing like 20 stars in the sky to like 1,000 in like a minute, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I basically said that, something along the lines like that to the guy. That's why I also like living in a rural area. And he turned around and he's like, oh man, when I was a kid, I was big on astronomy. I loved it. It's all I did and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, wow. And then I turned around and I said, have you seen any of those theories on Planet X? And his first reaction was, oh, that's bullshit. That's crazy. These crazy conspiracy people and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, blah. And I thought to myself, and he was talking about, that defies the mathematics of the universe and this and that. And I thought to myself, wow, for somebody who considers themselves, in other words, they're taking that, whatever their education is, and they're holding it to the extreme, like it is the absolute final answer. And I just came to realize, like, people like him are simply not open-minded. Like, he didn't say, oh, well, you never know. It's a little bit crazy. It sounds a little out there. He was more like, no, those people, that's bullshit. Those people belong in an insane asylum, like, immediately. He didn't supply, for a scientist, he could have at least gave me a more, in-depth, like, answer as to why it couldn't be. But just, it's plain bullshit doesn't, cut it for me. And I had the same exact conversation with the guy about taxes. I said, yeah, did you hear about the guy in New Hampshire who's ready, he's ready to have a battle in front of his house because they call him a tax evader, and he's saying they can't prove the taxes. And again, his response was, that's bullshit. He goes, that's bullshit. Everybody has to pay taxes. Boom, that's it. That was his whole explanation.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
So, and this is coming from a guy who called himself a scientist, like a real deal scientist, with a master's degree or a PhD or whatever you call it, right? So his response is, that's bullshit. Everybody has to pay taxes. He didn't say why. Like I know why people pay taxes, supposedly to pay for the school to get built, for the roads to get built, for this public facilities and public services. That's why we supposedly pay taxes, right? And I think a fraction of our taxes go to that stuff. And the big chunk of our taxes goes to the government and the secret government.
Yeah, and to pay out the federal deficit, which is the government spending and not necessarily the schools and
right. And it's in other words,
I mean, just to say it's all bullshit is not really a sound reputation.
Yeah, especially coming from somebody I'm supposed to, in our society, have high respect for. Like, people automatically, like, when you meet somebody who has like a master's degree or whatever, who's a doctor, you'd expect them to be a little more humble and reserved. And to me, it's more like a lot of these doctors and scientists, they're more like egotistical rock stars that think their shit that think they know everything. They know it all. And you can't tell them anything different. And, man, that shit is plain to see. That's why so many scientists in the future they're going to go back to being, freshman students because they're so closed-minded.
Yeah, well, I mean, just because somebody has a degree doesn't exactly mean that they're enlightened or open-minded. I can prove that.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that they have any wisdom.
Well, exactly. They obviously don't have wisdom. It's like it was taken away by this ego that, I got this degree and I went to school for 12 years, so,
So what I'm just now discovering about Planet X is, or Nibiru, is that it was originally discovered, well, it was printed in, I'm reading a New York Times article in 1982 talking about that there's an object that's tugging at Uranus and Neptune, saying that there's some gravitational force that keeps perturbing the two planets, causing irregularities in their orbits.
Well,
and then, of course, Nancy Leader at Zeta Talk says that she was given coordinates for it, and I think that they got some amateur photos of what they're calling Planet X or Nibiru. And I mentioned Zachariah Sitchin. He said that he's been doing research, and I think he calculated the orbit of that planet, which is out of sync with the rest of our sort of the planets that are in our immediate vicinity and says
system.
Our system. It seems like it's I don't know what you call it. Its path brings it around close to Earth every, I think he said 3,600 years, and then he did a sort of a history timeline.
How many years?
I think he said 3,600 years.
Oh, okay, yeah, because that's pretty much what I've been hearing too. That it's a 3,000 plus year cycle.
Yeah, and he says that he did a study on evolutionary leaps in humankind's history, and they seem to fall along times when this planet is closest to the Earth. And it was interesting that he mentioned that that planet was close enough to Earth that they could use some sort of primitive craft to travel here. And if you go back and you look at the hieroglyphs and stuff like that, you see a lot of UFOs that actually seem like more like spaceships that we have now rather than the saucer-shaped, more advanced UFOs.
Right.
And that seems to somewhat reflect what Zachariah Sitchin says, which is they use a more primitive form of craft that when a planet's close enough that they can travel over and, you know, sort of give us a boost.
Well,
who knows?
I think there's been outside sources that have surpassed that planet's ability of giving us this knowledge.
There's a website called planetxvideo.com that has a number of interviews on it, including Nancy Leader, all talking about that planet and the Earth changes.
Hold on, I gotta see this. You said Planet X what? Planet X Video?
planetxvideo.com. There's also xfacts.com.
Yeah, xfacts.com. I've been talking about that one. That's Jason Martell.
Yeah.
That's where I found the picture of the satellite, and that's the first site where I saw the hieroglyphics with the helicopters and the craft.
Yeah.
Because basically he went and traveled to all these museums and places and actually took pictures of all the hieroglyphics, you know. Like he went and took pictures of the pictures on the wall, you know what I'm saying? Of the paintings and sculptures and scriptures and all that. See, and Jason Martell, it's funny, see, there's Jason Martell. Yeah. He's right there on the front page.
Let's see which one he is. Yeah, he's the third guy down.
Yep. I'm telling you, man, see? All these people are doing videos. Look at that. We have how many people here?
There are 10 on that front page.
But see, the thing I don't think all the planets are exactly lined up in a straight line like that. For some reason, I think they all go in different directions.
Oh yeah, no, that's. I think it's just for a presentation. They're just throwing them all in line.
Gotcha.
No, when things line up, interesting things happen.
You know? And it's funny that the planet right next to ours. Oh no! I'm sorry. I take that back.
I don't know what the. I haven't looked at how our planets are.
So Mars, in this representation, it looks like Mars is smaller than the Earth. It's not. I thought Mars was bigger.
No, I think Mars is smaller. I'm not sure.
Yeah, neither do I. Planet X, Guru, Anunnaki, Earth changes. Planet X video guest views are not necessarily shared by the producer. It is left for the viewer to decide. Yeah, that's good disclosure. Disclaimer.
I want to share with you a couple things I just found.
Okay.
First of all, the stuff that I found that I put in on ATS in the thread points to some possible stuff, some some stuff potentially happening toward the end of this year, and then like maybe something happening over the next couple of years. Who was the guy? Oh, it was the guy posting in another forum who had this sort of his pre-birth memories.
Right.
About he was recalling that him choosing his life on this planet, and he said that around between the ages of 26 and 28 years old, he saw the first contact events that usually occur on planets at this point in their evolutionary cycle, and he saw that as happening around between this year, 2007, and 2009, because he gave his age at the time that sort of stuff sort of happened. That was interesting.
Wow, that's pretty much just like me.
We'll have to see.
Because I say somewhere between 2007 and 2009 was my original thing. I just pushed it back to 2012 because I don't know, Bar. I have these memories that I was off a lot, and I was like upset with myself because of it. You know what I mean? I just have memories of thinking certain things are going to happen in a certain year, and I'd end up being off by like a year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I remember, and there's one prediction I make that's going to be totally off, but it's going to work to my advantage for some reason.
Yeah.
Like there's one prediction I made or make that it's not going to come to pass in the year I say it's going to.
Yeah.
But it's actually going to work to my advantage somehow. I can't remember everything. That's all I can remember. If it's even a memory.
When you think about it, if you're giving away stuff that's too accurate, you could be doing yourself in. So you might be doing yourself a favor by misremembering or recalling incorrectly. You know.
Yeah. Well, I think everything that's happening now is happening for a reason. You know, the way it's happening, whether it's right or wrong or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like if you give a location.
I'm just basically passing on what's in my head. You know.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. I'm just putting it on record. You know, I'm either recording it with audio or typing it up in text. You know. And it's weird. I really hate the fucking phrase, but I gotta say it. It is what it is.
Straight from your head to the computer.
Exactly. That's what it is. Take it as you will, people. You don't have to believe me. It would be nice if you kind of did. But hey, man, I mean, the main message, more than even paranormal, is for this world needs to change on its own in a big way without intervention. People need to start being more peaceful, and there needs to be more of a sense of community with the world as a whole, and not this separated community where people kind of place themselves above and beyond everyone else with their little communities and societies. The main message to me is our world needs to become a world community with no borders, and and freedom needs to reign, and not this false freedom,
And
because that's what it is, man. All these places that claim to be free countries, they're not, man. It's false freedom. We're still slaves. The one thing I can say about the United States to me is, even though the United States, to me, there's plenty wrong going on, it still seems to be the most free, or used to, up until September 11th. It used to feel like one of the most free places to live in the world, where a human being has almost more rights than anywhere else. I mean, there's countries that they'll cut your hand off if you're caught stealing something. There's countries, where they'll cut your dick off. There's countries where they'll torture you when you go to jail for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there's countries where you can be randomly just arrested and do nothing about it. And well, it's now, unfortunately, that law has been passed in the United States where it's practically martial law now. And that is in effect. You know this, right, Bart? Bart, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Practically a martial law is in effect now, right? If the government thinks that you're suspicious in any way, they can arrest you and have a closed court trial that's not open to the public. They can detain you for as long as they want to, for no reason, without proving any reason, just by saying they're suspicious of you.
Yeah, so it's not overt martial law. It's just a sort of police state.
Well, yeah, but like I said, it's practically martial law.
Yeah.
So think about it, man. And so for me, more than any of the paranormal stuff, which is of course important, but for me the main message is our world needs to basically just come together already and stop with this fucking separation bullshit, because all that does is create war and misery. And who wants to continue living life with war and misery? I mean, what was that video we watched? Oh yeah. There's this video I watched the other night on Google Video. I just did my plain UFO search, my key phrase UFO on Google Video, and looking for if there's anything new out there I haven't seen, because I pretty much watched them all already. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, no, I didn't watch them all. I've watched a lot of, and this one, I forget what it's called. I think it's called Secret. Fuck, man. I'll get you the name. But they were showing clips of the army, right? Of the training the United States training, army guys, privates. Do you know they make them chant out, "I am a killing machine. I am a heartless killing machine."
Right.
Oh,
it's brainwashed.
I love blood. Like, I mean, they're fucking. Holy shit, man! They're no wonder. Imagine you got a psychotic drill sergeant telling his troops to chant out, "I am a killing machine," and shit like that. These are not peace-seeking warriors. You know what I'm saying? And you know why they grab young kids? Because they don't have a wife and kid to go home to. You know what I'm saying? They got parents and brothers and sisters to go home to, but they don't have like a wife and kid usually to go home to. And even if they do, they're so distant from them because they're making them spend years away from them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they desensitize them.
Exactly. It's fucking sick, man.
Then they send them out to kill, and then they send them back into society. And unless they blow up and start killing people, they don't they don't have a decompression program, I guess.
Yep, you can't unzip them. It's I mean, the most, what it is to me the most is frightening. That's a frightening thing to think of. I mean, that says a lot, man. It's, I thought the army was I don't know what it's been said, something in my head, sound off, 1, 2, that's like, all right, that's all right. But I am a killing machine. I will kill you. I will kill everybody. I thirst for blood. Holy shit, what are you, fucking nuts?
I was just actually watching one of those, the boot camp videos this morning. It was in part of one of the videos I was looking at. And they were shouting, "I'm a beast."
That's the one. That's the video.
Oh.
What's it called?
I don't know what it's called. I was watching it this morning.
Nuts. You're watching the same video as me. That's the one. That's the one where they say, "I am a beast." That's right. That's the one.
Yeah.
That's fucking... Insane. See, my question is, right? See, people think the wrong way. They look at the soldiers, right? They blame like the soldiers for willingly do that. It's not them. It's not even the drill sergeant who's teaching them who's training them. It's the drill sergeant's boss. That's the person you got to find out who made that shit up. See, Bart, if this is all real, we're right now we're. I mean, if you think about it, we truly are holding the title. Because I was thinking about it, like even though I consider, like people can say I'm an abductee. Like right now, I'm starting to think that we're just researchers, that we are paranormal fucking investigators at this point, because that's what we're doing. We're searching hardcore for the truth,
Yeah.
And I think that that's what we are now, man. We're like investigators, and I think that a lot of the shit we find people, we're gonna hold them accountable for it and see what the fuck they gotta say about it. It's weird, like, I almost feel like we're gonna become like time cops. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's weird because I don't really like policing people. You know what I mean? I don't. I don't have a natural desire for that kind of power trip. You know? I just know the things that affect me directly. You know, those are the things that sometimes get me stirred up. But yeah, man. Shit. Let me see if it's on, because I took all my files off my computer so I could start fresh. So I don't know if I still got it in my download folder, because I downloaded that shit.
Yeah.
No, I don't have it. You know what? While we're talking, I'll do my search. My search.
It has something to do with mind controlled and the New World Order or the Antichrist or something like that. It's on YouTube. Actually, there's a video I just typed.
I'm sorry. Go on. I'm sorry. Go on.
I was gonna say I just typed New World Order and Antichrist or something like that, and there's a video. The still shot is of the sort of clean-cut guy with a dark background, and it has something to do with, it's an excerpt from the film The Illuminati to the Antichrist Conspiracy, and it shows some footage of Bill Clinton from, it looks like some time back when he was, it's like sitting in a chair getting makeup put on, and he's just got this stoned, like, totally, like, empty look on his face. It's pretty creepy.
Yeah, he was all perked out that day. He was probably on like Percocets or something.
I mean, he just looks like in a like this sort of.
Oh, you mean like a zombie trance? Like somebody's got him under control?
Yeah, that's what they're saying, suggesting. I mean, if you look at the video, it's just it's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
hey, Bart, I want to tell you, just so I get it out there. Every day at around 5, I'd say 30, I get that feeling in the back of my head every single day now on the way home from work.
Yeah.
And sometimes on the way too, but mostly it's guaranteed every day on the way home from work at around 5:30, I could feel that feeling in the back of my head, in the back of my skull, like this invisible air is being sucked out of it.
Yeah.
And that's when all these crazy thoughts pop into my brain that I have to question. And I don't know if I'm being attacked or not, but it's weird, man. I feel it every single day, dude. Every day. Now. especially after Shep pointed it out to me. And by the way, have you read those? You know, there's Shep keeps seeing that black helicopter thing by his
Yep.
house,
I'm reading them. Yeah.
and you know, I for some reason I don't think Shep's bullshitting me, man. I really don't.
I don't think he is either.
And plus, there's been other. Now he's saying he read articles of the sightings. I asked him if he can find the link or scan the newspaper or something because
Yeah.
you know, and because see the one when he told me his story, he basically said the old man was telling him to keep his mouth shut. You know what I'm saying?
The old man.
Yeah. You know, the one he describes in his dream where he sees the black helicopter.
Oh, I see. I see.
He said that he even retold a bit of the story when the three of us were together a couple of weeks ago. He said he woke up in like a dentist chair and he was all drugged out and hazed like he was on some really heavy duty stuff. And he said he walked out of there and he said when he woke up while he was in the chair, he said the old man started yelling at him, telling him to keep his mouth shut and being real mean. And yelling at, trying to fucking threaten him and all that. And then he said when he got out of the house, the old man was really nice and let him go. And then he said on his way down the block, he saw the black helicopter parked in the backyard of the house. And he went over to go look at it and touch it. And now he's saying he saw it, he hears it and sees it, and I mean, it's weird. Like, I mean, why would Shep make this shit up? You know what I'm saying?
I know.
And I, you know what I realized? I thought Shep found me through Above Top Secret because I say that in one of the interviews.
Yeah.
He didn't. He found me through Bonnie Hamilton. He went to Bonnie Hamilton to abduction help because he noticed that she puts a big psychic spin on the UFO phenomenon. Yeah. And he said, and Shep himself said that when all these things were happening to him throughout his life, he always considered it to be some sort of psychic thing. He never considered it to be extraterrestrial or something to that effect. Right?
Yeah.
So when he found Bonnie's site, since she's so spiritually focused, but he said that when he spoke to her, she recommended that he talk to me. And so now it makes that much sense to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's weird, like, because I've been trying to think to myself, why I have to, I mean, I'm sure there's misinformational people out there, that are planted to specifically, with specific tasks, you know what I mean? But some people, I can't help but think to myself, why would these people come out, like, what do they have to gain from this? It's pretty tough to become a rock star for believing in UFO, you know what I'm saying? So that's what makes me think that why would he bullshit me,
No, I mean, these people are sincere. I mean, there's no, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, questioning the credibility of a lot of these people coming out, like Shep and stuff like that, I stopped doing that a long time ago. These people are sincere and they're talking about real experiences, and I'm not even debating that sort of stuff anymore. You want to know something?
I'm sorry.
I wanted to share something interesting with you, and that is that there is an extraterrestrial. Have you seen this worldwide music concert called the Signal to Space Concerts?
No. Where's that?
It's really interesting. Let's see.
What's the website? Signal to Space Concert.
Signals to Space Concerts. It's on. One article is on allheadlinenews.com.
Star-studded space concert to contact aliens. 24-.com. It's a news article on 24-.com. Here we go. The one I'm looking at, it says Sir Paul McCartney, David Bowie, and Michael Jackson are set to make contact with aliens, claims author Michael Luckman. The acts, along with Sir Elton John and the Rolling Stones, have been lined up to headline a series of concerts aimed at establishing peaceful contact with aliens by beaming music into outer space. When does this article come out? This article is the 30th of April, 2007.
Yeah.
So this is a brand new fucking article.
Yeah, this
it's like
is
a week old.
Yeah.
People better not be copycatting off me.
All right.
No, I'm just kidding.
But I wanted to add, I mean, there's a lot here. Let's see. These concerts are going to be held, like it says in the article, Berlin, Tokyo, New York, China, Russia, Mexico, and London, maybe others. They have all of these musical heavy hitters. This is a very odd, I mean, that really is a reflection of what's going on the planet.
Isn't that nuts?
I mean, it's also, okay, Britain's Prince William is to be guest of honor at an alien concert. It says Michael Luckman, the author of Alien Rock, The Rock and Roll Extraterrestrial Connection, says the 24-year-old prince has a strong interest in alien activity and is infatuated with his book.
And what did I say about Princess Diana?
She was going to be at the concert.
Yep.
William is such a follower that Luckman plans on inviting him to his Signal to Space concert aimed at establishing peaceful contact with UFOs through music.
Now, what are they going to say? Are they going to say that's because Prince William likes smoking weed? Right? Are they going to hold that against him now? Because, I was thinking about that shit. They did an article on Prince William when he was 17 years old. He got busted smoking weed and partying with chicks. And they made it to be, like, such a bad thing on the news. Like, it was gossip. And I'm thinking to myself, like, right on. That kid's going out and fucking having fun and not letting all that Prince bullshit pressure fucking get on him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, in other words, he's going out being an average teenager. He's not fucking, good for him. I don't know. I think they should leave that kid alone. And now, what you're saying, awesome. Exactly. He's not fucking shooting heroin, fucking...
It's interesting what drives these people to be interested in the subject. And along with the announcement of this concert, they then did some background on some of the musicians who are going to be there and some who aren't going to be there and their experiences with ETs and UFOs. They talked about John Lennon and his UFO sighting. There's another John Lennon anecdote that they share that says that...
You know what's funny?
Okay.
I think it's pretty interesting that in the movie The Men in Black, in the beginning when they first bring on, I forget Will Smith's character name in the movie, Anyway, when they show everybody on the screen who's aliens that they monitor at all times, and they show, like, pictures of, like, Michael Jackson and Tony Robbins and all these famous people.
Yeah.
And it's nuts because I never said it before, but I know Michael Jackson has something to do with something. Like,
yeah.
He plays some type of role in this. He really does. And who knows, this might be actually it. But I've been thinking that shit for a while because in the concert, right, I'm just kind of, like, when I think of the concert, I constantly try to remember who the fuck is there and what song do they play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I want to share a sighting that Jimi Hendrix claimed to have had.
I'm sorry?
Say it again? This is an encounter that Jimi Hendrix had.
Really?
It says...
Yeah, he's going to be there too. Yep.
Knight, these two people are describing a story to each other. Knight told Beckley a remarkable story about Hendrix, an event that happened a few years before Hendrix became the legendary and much beloved guitar hero. It was during the winter time, and they were playing a small gig in upstate New York near Woodstock. This was before the Woodstock Festival, so it had nothing to do with that, except as a point of location. It was not very far from Pine Bush, where there's been a lot of UFO activity in the last few decades. Anyway, as I understand it from Curtis, there was a very snowy blizzard, and the boys in the band were trying to get back to Manhattan. They got snowed in. It was so cold outside they couldn't even open a window. The windows had frozen. They had the engine still running, and the carbon monoxide filled the car. A couple of the other guys passed out in the back seat, but Jimmy was still able to breathe, apparently, and he claimed that a cone-shaped object landed on the road not far from their vehicle. A door opened on the side of the craft, and a being came out. He described as kind of a feathered creature like an angel. The thing drew its wings out and walked around the vehicle, and where it walked, the snow melted. So they were able to get out of the blizzard and get back to New York. Jimmy always told Curtis that if it wasn't for this being coming from the ship, he was sure that they would have died in that car that night.
Who's Curtis?
Curtis Knight was a member of the band. I guess. Somebody else to confirm that. But anyway, it was interesting that he saw this winged creature get out of his craft and ended up saving them.
And it was a winged
John
creature.
Lennon had an actual physical encounter. He says that shortly before his assassination, there were a couple of graves that came into the Dakota where John Lennon lived at this point. John saw a strange light coming through the door, and the small beings came into his apartment. They had some kind of telepathic communication, and they left him with a small egg-shaped smooth object that John passed along to Uri Geller. Uri Geller still has it.
Cool.
When John saw the alien ship from his penthouse, it was said that he was on his roof naked, and he shouted after them, "Stop, take me with you."
See, I'm telling you, there's going to be a lot of dead people at the concert.
You said Jimi Hendrix is going to be there.
Oh yeah, yes. Yep, and Bob Marley's a big one too. Like I said, Elvis, Bob Marley, fucking all sorts of people. Diamond Darrell from Pantera. I mean, Dimebag Darrell from Pantera. He's going to be there. He was quite an unfortunate loss. For me, anyway. I'm a big heavy metal fan. A fucking fan, Pantera broke up, and Dimebag Darrell was in a new band. And one of the fans jumped out of the fucking crowd and shot him point blank in the face. Can you believe that shit?
Yeah, I don't know if that was a fan.
No, he was. When they went back to his house, he had Pantera posters all over the place. Or something like that, I think. Like somebody, there was one of the stories, I can't cite it or throw up a link, but I'm pretty sure in one of the stories it says that the guy, his friends or whatever, claimed that he was really upset that Pantera broke up. And that was all he talked about for like a year. Or something like that. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm hallucinating.
Well, regardless, he's going to be at the concert.
Yeah. Yep. All my favorite bands are playing, whether they're fucking dead or alive, my friend. I mean, excuse me. Whether it doesn't matter if they're dead right now to us, or to the world, they're going to be there. You know what I'm saying? And not just my favorite bands, your favorite bands too, Bark. Name one.
I think they're all alive. I like,
Okay, they don't have to, like I said, whether they're dead or alive.
Yeah.
Go ahead, name one, man.
Who are my favorite bands?
Just give me one.
Come on, the Beatles, Hendrix. I like classic rock, but I also like current bands like I like these sort of Virginia college bands like Pavement and actually that's California. Thibodeau.
Really? Send me some links.
They're smaller bands.
I don't care. Let's check them out, man.
I actually had a cool experience at a Sebadoh concert in at the 930 Club. My friend and I were waiting sort of off stage left or whatever after the show, and we told the security guy we wanted to talk to Lou Barlow, who's the lead singer, and so the guy just told Lou, and Lou actually came out and talked to us, he actually hand wrote our names on a guest list for their next concert, which was in Charlottesville, which is like a couple hours south of there, and told us that we could just come in.
That was pretty cool. That's awesome. That's the way it should be. I'm definitely,
a cool guy.
This time I have every intention of going to meet Clutch.
Yeah.
Because when I went with my brother Rick, it was cold outside. It was I don't know, it was still kind of frigid out. So I didn't want to go. I just felt, well, I don't know, I just had my priorities because my batteries I knew they were running low on my camera. And I just wanted to get footage of the show. So I went straight into the club. And plus, I wanted to buy my t-shirt straight away before they sell out. Because I don't know. When I have the money to buy the t-shirt, it's the first thing I'm getting, because I'll either end up buying beer, I'll end up spending my money on something stupid, so I just buy it right away.
I know, you got to do that. And I would say all of the bands, Sebadoh, Lou Barlow, Jason Lowenstein, and the drummer, they switched drummers, but I also like Genesis.
Really? They're going to be there?
Yeah.
There you go, see?
Are they really?
Yeah, Phil Collins, he's going to be there. And he's going to join in with Disturbed on Land of Confusion.
Oh, you think so?
I know so. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I do think so. Because look at all the songs he's got. Phil Collins, man, he's fucking awesome. You kidding me? He's got I don't know the names of the songs. I know I can sing them. The Still in the Air of the Night, when he goes, I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord. And of course, Land of Confusion. Man, he's got a bunch of awesome songs. You kidding me? He's awesome.
Eric Gaffney is the drummer for Sebadoh. I don't want to leave anybody out.
Sebadoh. Spell that?
It's Sebadoh.
I think I actually heard of them.
It's a 3-man band, but they rock pretty hard.
Hell yeah, man. Nirvana started out as a 3-man band. Until they got that other guy. I forget his name.
You know, Genesis is touring this year, and I got tickets to go. They're playing in September in.
Bart. I'm sorry. Say it again. They're playing December where?
In D.C. I can't remember the venue.
Cool. Oh, Bart, I want to let you know on YouTube and Google, I uploaded a couple of old music videos from 94, 95. Because me and Lance, we did a lot of shit with our computers when we were in the band, and one of the things we did was take our videos and mostly testing out how to use this, learning how to use the software we made a lot of these videos, or just with our own means. The first music video I ever made for one of my bands, I used 2 VCRs. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I just used one VCR to play the clips and the other VCR to record. And I just put them all on top of each other, I'd play this tape for 2 seconds and record it, then I'd put in another tape and put another clip on. But anyway, I just so you could see, there's one video where my wife's pregnant. Well, she's not even my wife yet, she's still my girlfriend. She's playing bass.
What do I gotta type?
It's in YouTube. Go to MySpace. If you want to make it easy, just go to MySpace, my MySpace profile.
Yeah.
And where it says video, there's a link to my YouTube profile, and it's right there.
All right.
Basically, you just find my YouTube link on my MySpace profile. It's where I have all my Clutch videos, my live Clutch videos that I filmed on the 30th of December. But anyway, I'm not trying to like plug my website. I mean, it's not like I'm fucking making money off of it. But I don't know. I just thought you'd be interested because then you could really see more of what I look like, I guess, other than the MySpace pictures.
All right.
But yeah, it's there. They exist now.
It's not in videos.
What, in MySpace?
Yeah.
On
Oh, you.
go.
You.
It's on.
I got it. I found it.
Okay.
Oh, cool. Okay, you're on stage there?
Yeah. That's basically clubs in Staten Island. There's one, the one video, with the one that's called You. There's a song called You.
Yeah.
That song was totally spontaneous. Like, that song I literally made up and sang and played on the spot. With no previous rehearsing or anything like that. Just straight off the top of the head. And Lance rocked that on the drums, man. He hooks up, I don't know. I don't know. Me and Lance clicked when we jammed. Because we would switch, because we would just jam, just me and him. And we would switch back and forth between drums and guitar. Like, I'd play guitar and sing for like a half hour, then he would do it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, because me and Lance, when we jammed, we would never really play set songs. We would just literally play off the top of our head for like hours. you know, like little 3 and 4 minute jams or whatever. We'd go nuts.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I got to sit in just for fun with a couple of friends that were playing guitars and on drums, and that was pretty fun.
You play drums, Bart?
I don't play, but you know what? I sat there and I've played them just for fun once before, like a bunch of years ago, and then I sat down and they actually were surprised that they were surprised that in my playing they thought I had played before, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty much what got me to play drums, because I was sitting behind my friend and watching him so often that when I finally jumped behind him, I just mimicked what he did, and I did it good, and I was like, wow, I could do that.
Yeah.
And then that was it for me, and then when we were jamming in my garage, I basically played them every single day, and I don't know, I think I could hold my own in a band as a drummer.
It was a compliment because he said something like, "Here we are, you just, we hand you like the drumsticks," and they said, "Then you end up being like this drum prodigy." Now that was an exaggeration, right?
That's cool. Well, it's
the easiest instrument to learn, I hear.
It's awesome, dude. I love drums.
Yeah.
I love music. I don't know. I love music, period. And it is very there, and it's weird. Just seems like the more I look, the more paranormal the whole music industry is seeming to me. And I don't mean the industry as in the corporate side of it. I mean the actual artists. I mean, look at this picture of David Bowie, for Christ's sake. The guy's painting his face. It looks all,
Yeah.
He looks like he's in that frame of mind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like something has touched his life to make him think like that. I don't know, man. You know who else too? I think Red Hot Chili Peppers. I think they know something too.
You think so?
Yeah, Jane's Addiction, like Perry Farrell, and Dave Navarro, and fucking Korn, Deftones, and bands like that. I mean, Head PE. God, there's so many. I mean, and those are just like mostly heavy metal bands. It's not just heavy metal, man. It's everywhere. Prince. I think Prince knows something. I really do.
The Rolling Stones definitely do. Mick Jagger.
Right, like it's either it's like some kind of psychic ability that they've all been gifted with, or that they were born with, or I don't know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like totally put my finger on it, but when you listen to the lyrics, it's like they know. You know what I mean? I can't explain it. Like, not every little line, not every word, just here and there, little bits and pieces, little hints. You know, and like I said in other interviews, I feel like music is definitely